What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. Welcome to day 248 of the 365-day graphic novel review challenge. Over the last couple of days, I accidentally mixed up the books that I was wanting to talk about. I did them out of order from what I originally planned. I was going to segue from books by Mark Wheatley into books by Robert Tennell, and so I was going to go Mars, and then the following day I was going to talk about Lone Justice, which was a collaboration between Wheatley and Tennell. I accidentally did the opposite of that. I did Lone Justice, and then I did Mars. So that's okay. Today I am back to books by Robert Tennell. Today I want to talk about The Black Forest by Tennell, Todd Livingston, Neil Vokes, and Anthony Schiavino. I know I mispronounced that name at least one of those times. This is a very short book. It is set during World War I, and it is about this project in Germany called Project Prometheus during World War I, and basically they have found a way to revive the Frankenstein model of reviving the dead, and they are going to use this to their advantage in the war. And then you've got these two guys on the side of America and Britain, and they are trying to put a stop to this. One of them, he is an American pilot. The other one is a British expert on the occult, and we find out that there is more than meets the eye with that guy. Like I said, it's a very short book. It is in black and white. I know that is a deal breaker for some people. Some people don't mind black and white comics as long as they were intended to be in black and white. They just don't like it when a comic was originally done in color and then is reprinted in black and white. For me, that doesn't bother me. This is one that was always intended to be in black and white, and I think that that definitely adds to the mood of this book. This is a World War I story. That was before color TV was even a thing. That was even before TV was a thing. So I think that this being in black and white, it adds a layer of authenticity to it. Even though we didn't have television back then, I still think that it feels more right than it would if this book was in color. So I like that this is in black and white. I think that that works remarkably well here. Some people might not like that. I know that there are people out there who prefer all of the comics that they read to be in color. I like that this is a short book, but I feel like it could be a little longer. I'm not saying it has to be twice as long. I think that the material that we have here would get a little stretched too thin, I think, if it was, say, 200 pages long. I think that eventually we'd be like, okay, let's wrap it up, guys, if it was that long. But I think if you added another 10 or 15 pages here, you could explore some of the concepts here a little bit better than what they're doing here. I feel like as is, they're kind of pressing themselves into a tight corner here, and they don't have as much room to work as I think they could if they just give themselves another 10 or 15 pages. My only other big problem here, and really, I don't have any major problems with this book, but the biggest problem that I do have is that one of our main characters is kind of an unlikable jerk, and I've said that before, and I've said that doesn't have to be a deal breaker. Sometimes that's intentional, sometimes that's part of the DNA of the book. You look at Brewster Gold from the 1990s, he was intended to be a little bit of a jerk, so that was part of the series that they were doing. It wasn't like that was going to drive people away, or at least in theory that wasn't supposed to drive people away, because that was their intention. They wanted Brewster Gold to be a jerk. In this book here, I'm sure that that is their intention, but it still makes it a little difficult for me to care about this guy. He is on the side of America and Great Britain during World War I, and they are wanting us to root for him, but he's still a very unlikable jerk. At one point, he and his partner, who are supposed to be working together, they are in an airplane, and they only have one parachute, and he basically says, okay, dude, see you later. I'm going to take this airplane parachute, and then I'm going to get out of here. Good luck. It was nice knowing you. And we later find out that this other guy, the occult expert, he's pretty important in this mission, and this pilot guy very nearly ruined the mission by leaving this guy to die in the airplane, and then he gets angry when this other guy doesn't let the pilot guy leave him to die. It's really weird. Whenever the British guy gets on his back and kind of they both tumble to the ground on one parachute, then the pilot guy gets mad. He's like, well, you could have gotten us both killed, and I'm thinking, dude, you almost got him killed because you're a selfish idiot. So this one guy, I don't really like him. Even later in the book, he and the British guy, they kind of come to a little bit of an accord. They start to become a little bit more friendly with each other, and by the end of the book, they are much more friends with each other than they were at the beginning of the book. It's still difficult for me to like this American guy throughout most of this book because of his behavior at the beginning of the book. That's just a small thing. A lot of time, books are not going to have a super likable character as their protagonist, and that's fine. You just have to bear in mind that if it's an ongoing series, which that's not the case here, but if it's an ongoing series, you might lose people who are sick and tired of this character being such such a self-righteous jerk like is the case here. Now, since this is only a self-contained original graphic novel, that's not as much of a problem, but it's still difficult for me to root for these guys when one of them is very much an unlikable jerkhole. So anyway, those are my thoughts on The Black Forest. I overall really like this book a lot. I think that it is definitely worth your time and money. It's a very interesting mashup of genres. You don't often see war stories being mixed up with monster fiction. I think that works very well here. I like it quite a bit. I would love to see more stories set in this world. I don't think that there were any sequels to this, although I might be mistaken, but I don't think that there were. But anyway, that's all that I have to say about The Black Forest. I hope that you guys liked this video, and if you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow with a different video. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of the day. Catch you later. Today I'm back to books by Robert Tennell, and I want to talk about The Black Forest by Tennell, Todd Livingston. You can see my cat in here, sorry.